Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we're going to be breaking down the recent trailer that Wargaming dropped for their upcoming carrier revamp. Okay, I just literally, posted a video not too long ago. If we go take a look at the YouTube studio, as you guys can see, I posted a video 4 hours ago. Actually, about 5 hours ago now. Big carrier changes coming. And, well, Wargaming has released a little trailer breaking down it a little bit, giving some video, coverage of the changes. So, we're going to watch it together, and then we will go in and break it down. So, there's going to be 3 minutes and 48 seconds of uninterrupted trailer, and then we're going to go through and rewatch it and break it down with my interruptions in between. So, here's the trailer without me talking. I'm just going to play it, and then we'll go and, go through it together.
Ahoy, Captains!
I better restart it. There we go.
Ahoy, Captains! There's no growth without change, and your feedback has highlighted key areas for improvement. We're thrilled to introduce a comprehensive rework of aircraft carriers, designed to elevate the gameplay experience for everyone. Whether you're commanding these mighty vessels, allied with them, or facing them in combat. In this video, we'll quickly cover the main adjustments, so be sure to watch until the end. The first change introduces a brand new feature, fuel. This new mechanic determines the distance your squadrons can fly, displayed in kilometers on the fuel gauge. If you run out mid-flight, you will only have a few seconds to launch an attack before your squadron automatically returns to the carrier. Plan your flights wisely and remember to upgrade your carrier to increase your fuel capacity and maximize your battlefield performance. To enhance the game dynamics and offset fuel limitations, several changes have been made to aircraft and squadrons. The speed of all aircraft has been boosted by at least 10%, and they can now accelerate indefinitely without overheating. Thanks to this, the engine cooling consumable is no longer needed. Now, the only heat you need to manage is the fire of combat itself. As we enhance our strategic approach, let's zoom into the newly adjusted spotting mechanic, which reshapes how you'll scout the battlefield. Spotting has been updated specifically for aircraft. When controlling your squadron, you can spot enemy ships for yourself like before, but your allies will now only see markers on the minimap. Your team cannot directly target an enemy ship spotted by aircraft, so enhanced coordination is required. A brand new ribbon has been added for aircraft spotting to differentiate it from standard ship-to-ship spotting. Note that aircraft can no longer detect torpedoes. This new system emphasizes teamwork and communication, making your coordination skills more important than ever. Play hide and seek like a pro. Keep your friends close and your enemies on your minimap. Naturally, the way aircraft carriers service their planes and deal damage has also undergone some adjustments. All hangar sizes have been increased, and the restoration time of squadrons has been reduced. The restoration times now differ between nations, diversifying the board even more. Speaking of squadrons, most of them have been redesigned. They now boast more planes in updated flight and attack formations, but individual planes have fewer hit points. Details aside, let's get to the meat of things. All dive bombers equipped with HE or AP bombs have received a larger payload, meaning they can drop more bombs, increasing your hit chances. However, their penetration, damage, and fire chances have been reduced to balance these changes. That's not all. The unique skip bombers of Soviet carriers have received an important tweak. Their bombs must now skip at least once on the water to arm and deal damage. It will take more skill to use them effectively, so don't skip on practicing. All of these changes aim to make carriers more integral and active participants in battles. Keep in mind that these adjustments are still a work in progress, and some of them might receive additional tweaks in the future. For players who crave a deep dive into these changes, a dedicated article is ready and waiting. For those who prefer a more hands-on approach, 4 aircraft carriers, Hakuryo, Midway, Zuiho, and Graf Zeppelin will be available to rent with credits throughout the entire update. And there's even more on the horizon, but we'll reveal that in further updates, so stay tuned. Let us know what you think, explore the reworked carriers, master the skies, and turn the tide.
Alrighty then, so lots of things to break down.
Ahoy!
So, first off, Let's take a look at the very first thing. I'm going to turn down the volume quite a bit.
Hey, captains! There's no growth without change, and your feedback has
So we got Lexington right at the beginning.
highlighted key areas for improvement. We're
Lots of planes on the deck.
thrilled to introduce a comprehensive rework of
Aircraft carrier rework.
aircraft carriers, designed to elevate the gameplay experience for everyone. Whether you're commanding these mighty vessels, allied with them, or facing them in combat. In this video, we'll quickly cover the main adjustments, so be sure to watch until the end. The
All right, so
first change introduces a brand new feature.
fuel. I was hoping that they would add a gauge to it. We did a video not too long ago, like I said, about 5 hours ago now. At the time of recording this, we talked about that. We looked at the Ministry of Balance changes, and they said they're adding a fuel system. So I'm glad that there is a bar down below that tells you how long you have until you run out of fuel, which makes sense. I mean, in real life, they had fuel too. Usually you had to calculate how long you'd be flying out, and then you got to figure out how much you got left to come back, right? So, basically what this sounds like to me is it's going to encourage people to move up and with their carriers a bit more so they can get closer to the battlefield, and potentially you're going to have to be a lot more, you know, you're going to have to think a lot quicker when it comes to attacking people. You're going to have to head out there. You're going to have to quickly select the target if you're going to target somebody, and then you're going to have to drop because you're going to quickly run out of fuel. You know what I mean? So you're going to really have to start thinking about that because you're not going to be up in the air forever. You know what I mean? You only got, what, like 20 to 30 kilometers worth of fuel? You know, you got to watch out now. So I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing for, you know, the balance overall. Your planes will no longer forever stay in the air, you know what I mean? You're going to be forced to actually make some key decisions in where you're going to be sending your squadrons. So I think that is a great thing.
Fuel. This new mechanic determines the distance your squadrons can fly, displayed in kilometers on the fuel gauge. If you run out mid-flight, you will only have a few seconds to launch an attack before your squadron automatically returns to the carrier.
So again, that's a good thing. Like I said, you're going to really have to start thinking about that because once your fuel runs out, you only got, like he said, a few seconds left to make up your mind and attack something really quick. Or else you're just going to auto-send your planes back to your carrier, which, again, is a good thing, I think, in my opinion. That's going to make it to where carriers are going to really have to start thinking about, you know, what they're going to be doing with their planes. But that's also going to, you know, make it to where you're going to have to keep on sending more and more planes out quicker, basically. So you're going to be going through your squadrons probably a lot faster than you would normally. So, yeah, a good change, I think. I think that's really cool. PC does not have a fuel mechanic. So this is completely new for Legends. This is something completely unique now for carriers on World of Warships Legends. I think it's a good thing. I really do. It adds a bit more, you know, thought behind it. It's not just send your planes up and have fun. No, you got to actually start planning things out a bit more. I think that's a good thing.
Plan your flights wisely and remember to
See, he just said it right there. See? Plan your flights wisely. Exactly.
upgrade your carrier to increase your fuel capacity and maximize.
So there are going to be upgrades, like once you get your stuff upgraded, your fuel capacity plus 2 kilometers extra, stuff like that. I'm sure there might even be future commanders that are going to maybe increase that too by like a further kilometer or two. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You never know.
Your battlefield performance. To enhance the game dynamics and offset fuel limitations, several changes have been made to aircraft and squadrons. The speed of all aircraft has been boosted by at least 10%, and they
So as you guys can see, here's the August Parseval here, 209 knots. And it's the same for the Graf Zeppelin. So you're going to be speeding around the map really quick. Obviously, you have a limited amount of fuel, so you want to be getting around a lot quicker, right? That's the whole idea.
They can now accelerate indefinitely without overheating.
And that's the thing, too. Now you don't have to worry about engine cooling. Interesting. So now you're just going to be able to speed around the map with your planes a lot quicker. So there you go.
Thanks to this, the
I mean, as you guys can see, he just took off, and look how much fuel he's already used. He's already wasted like 5-6 kilometers of it. You know what I mean? So you're really gonna you're gonna need that. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be speeding around the map, trying to find someone, spot something, and then drop on them. You know what I mean?
engine cooling consumable is no longer needed. Now, the only heat you need to manage is the fire of combat itself. As we enhance our strategic approach, let's
Spotting mechanics update. Here we go.
zoom into the newly adjusted
This is probably the biggest one right here, guys, is this one right here. This is going to change a lot if you're in carrier games and in plane games in general. Any planes are now no longer going to, like your catapults, not going to spot anything anymore. But planes are now going to only spot things on the map for other teammates. So it's going to be pretty significant.
spotting mechanic, which reshapes how you'll scout the battlefield. Spotting has been updated specifically for aircraft. When controlling your squadron, you can spot enemy ships for yourself like before. But
so you're still going to be able to see them. If you spot somebody, you're going to see them for yourself. But everybody else on your team, they're not going to be able to see them unless they're actually, you know, able to spot them themselves. No, they're only going to appear on the mini-map up in the top left. That's it. So people will still, if you're paying attention to the mini-map, you will still know where people are. You will still see where they're at on the map, but you just won't see them on your screen, which, again, I think is a good thing. I don't have any problems against that. I think that's good.
your ally...
I mean, as you guys can see too, look, his carrier's all the way in the start here. Look at that. And he's already used, just to get here, just to get to this area, he's used half of his fuel. So you really got to, like, think ahead. Like, again, if you start moving your carriers up a few tiles, you might not really have to worry about that. He would still have around, like, probably 3/4 of his fuel. But still, it's something to think about. You're not going to be able to get a strike off, come back around, fly around. No, you got to plan your stuff out probably a lot more than you usually did before. Also, look in the top right. Detected by plane ribbon. See? We got a new ribbon there as well that tells you when you're detecting somebody. Again, that's really helpful. So, cool.
will now only see markers on the mini-map.
And here's a better thing. See how there's the dive bombers going out spotting that Kuma? There's a Kuma out there. Now, you can't see him on your screen, but you can see him still on the mini-map, as you guys can see.
Your team cannot directly target an enemy ship spotted by aircraft, so enhanced coordination...
But the Kuma just opened up, and he got himself... That Kuma just got himself spotted, so now the Wyoming's going to be able to put down fucking 12-inch guns of pain terrain of freedom downrange and probably dev strike that AI Thompson Kuma. So there you go.
A brand new ribbon has been added for aircraft spotting to differentiate it from standard ship to
So there you go. Plain spotting icon. Cool, right? Pretty simple. Pretty nice.
ship spotting. Note that aircraft can no longer detect torpedoes.
That's a thing too. Your planes will now not be able to detect torpedoes. That was pretty broken, not gonna lie. Like, the fact that you were able to just hover around destroyers, keep them fucking spotted eternally, and keep their torpedoes spotted eternally, I think that's a good thing. I think overall these changes are good. Like, I don't think they're all horrible. I really don't. Most of these changes, they balance themselves out. Like, and I think Wargaming has done a fantastic fucking job here. I really do. Shout out to Wargaming, man. They've done great. I think this is perfect. Again, you never know. We're going to play on Monday, and I'm going to see what's up. But I think these look really good. It's going to spicing things up a bit, too, for carrier players like myself. I do occasionally hop in a carrier. Not a lot, but I do sometimes. And this is going to make it interesting. It's going to appeal people to play them. And it's at the same time, it's going to make it easier for people to actually shoot down planes, because a lot of the planes are a lot lower HP. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to finish watching this through.
This new system emphasizes teamwork and communication, making your coordination skills...
Teamwork and communication. Only if, man. If randos would actually, you know, actually listen to people. And no, people don't really care about teamwork in this game. 90% of the player base are potatoes. We know that. But you never know. You might meet the occasional person that's like, oh, cool, yeah, I can actually get on the mic or something, or talking to get some comms going, ping people, I don't know. But most of the people that I see are just overly pinging the horn or spam clicking support, you know, I need support or I need intelligence data, and they have all the intelligence data they need, and yet, you know, they're still spamming stuff. So yeah, again, people, I don't know. But oh well.
Feels more important than ever. Play hide and seek like a pro. Keep your friends close and your enemies on your mini-map.
I think it's keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Yeah, but I guess, you know, it's World of Warships, so whatever. But anyway.
Naturally, the way aircraft carriers service their planes and deal damage has also undergone some adjustments. All hangar sizes have been increased.
So, also, one thing I want to mention, too, is now people in your carriers, if you're starting to reverse at the beginning of your game, that's not going to help you out. Like, it's going to impact you a lot more. So, people that just immediately click B at the beginning of battle when they get into a carrier, yeah, good luck with that. You're going to lose an extra 5 to 7 kilometers of flight time there. So, yeah. Yeah, I think this update's making it to where people should, it's encouraging people to move up a bit more in the carriers. I think that's a good thing. Not only is it a good thing for other players on the enemy team to, potentially get some shots on carriers. Like, you almost never see a carrier, like, in your time playing surface ships. Now you actually might see a lot more opportunities to kill enemy carriers, because you're going to probably see a lot more carriers actually moving up. So I think this is, like I said, I think all these changes are just going to intertwine, and they're going to make the game a lot more spicy. You're going to see a lot more carriers moving up. It's going to be interesting for all aspects. For the carrier players, for the people actually in the games, you're going to be shredding a lot more planes, because a lot of the planes now are made, they've lost like 30 to 50% of their HP. So, I mean, again, like, I think this is going to be good for everybody. I really do.
Increased, and the restoration time of squadrons has been reduced. The restoration times now differ between nations.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some specs stuff too. I'm gonna have to look over all of this. Also, I have posted some carrier guides, and they have done very well on the channel. I think one of them has like 25,000 views. Some of them have, I think one of them has 10,000 views. Yeah, we're gonna have to do an updated carrier guide once I play these things, get an idea of what they're all about, and I'm gonna have to redo it because this is a lot of changes. Basically, my old carrier guides are completely irrelevant, so I'm gonna have to start getting on that train probably the week they come out, and I'm gonna have to start figuring all this stuff out. But I think I'll catch on pretty quick. So look out for a potential carrier guide next week or the week after, or something like that in the next update.
Diversifying the board even more. Speaking of squadrons, most of them have been redesigned. They now boast more planes in updated flight and attack formations, but individual planes have fewer hit points. Details aside, let's get to the...
Like I just said, yes, there's going to be more planes, there's going to be more bombs, more torpedoes, but the planes are going to be a lot more weaker. So you're going to be able to start shooting them down a lot more quicker. Have you ever been in situations where you just feel like you never shoot down any planes? Well, that might be changing. You might be shooting down a lot more than you usually do. So, yeah, I mean, again, their torpedoes or bombs are going to do a lot less damage, most likely. And but you're going to be shooting down their planes a lot more, maybe. So it kind of, like I said, it just intertwines itself. It's kind of okay for everybody, you know what I mean? No, nothing really seems super overpowered here.
Need of things. All dive bombers equipped with HE or AP bombs have received a larger payload, meaning they can drop more.
So yeah, maybe not the torpedo bombers. You might not be getting an extra torpedo, but definitely the bombs. You're going to be getting a lot more bombs. Like here's Lexington. Lexington usually has 6 bombs. Watch what she does here.
Bombs, increasing your...
She's got like, I don't know, 20 bombs, like 12 bombs. 12 bombs. So there you go.
Hit chances. However, their penetration, damage, and fire chances have been reduced to balance these changes.
See, it's balancing itself out. So yeah, you get more bombs, but they do less damage and they have less penetration. So there you go. Again, a good change, I think.
Not all. The unique skip bombers of Soviet carriers have received an important tweak.
This is a big one. This is not even a tweak. It's a nerf. It's a straight up nerf. People that love their Russian carriers and they love just dropping on the first line, yeah, that's not going to be a viable option anymore because it's not even going to work, as you guys will see coming up very shortly.
Their bombs must now skip at least once on the water to arm and deal damage. It will take more skill to use them effectively, so don't...
See, the right screen, look at that. He dropped them right on that Baltimore, nothing. None of them penetrated, they all just nothing, okay? And the left image, you have to actually drop them, and then you have to skip them at least once to actually arm them. So you got to drop them on the first, and they got to skip to the second to hit the Baltimore.
Skip on practicing.
Just like so. See, so you're going to actually have to skip them. I know, crazy. They're skip bombers. They're not fucking dive bombers. You're supposed to actually skip them. Duh. So there you go. Have fun with that.
All of these changes aim to make carriers more integral and active participants in battles. Keep in mind that these adjustments are still a work in progress, and some of them might receive additional tweaks.
So yeah, like if there's something that's super dumb, obviously they'll do it. They'll do some changes. Most of these are tech tree, ships that are going to be getting affected. So it's not a big deal if they go in and change them and nerf them and whatnot and adjust them like they always do. So it's okay. You know what I mean? Anyway.
In the future, for players who crave a deep dive into these changes,
we already went through all that. We have a separate video, the video before this one, where we looked in all of the all the stuff here.
A dedicated article is ready and waiting. For those who prefer a more hands-on approach, 4 aircraft carriers, Hakuryu, Midway, Zuiho, and Graf Zeppelin.
So Hakuryu, Midway, Graf Zeppelin, and Zuiho, they're all available for rent now, so you guys will be able to spend some credits, test them out, and whatnot. So that's cool. I'm not going to spend no 30 million credits to frickin' buy the Bureau project for a legendary carrier. That's not me, Chief. So yeah, I might be able to rent them out and see what they're all about, Might actually get my hands on them.
Will be available to rent with credits throughout the entire update. And there's even more on the horizon.
And mobile. Yeah, mobile is getting carriers eventually too. They say they're working on this, so it's probably not next update, but an update maybe after. So you mobile players, looks like you guys, they're working on carriers for mobile, so look out for that. There you guys go. More mobile players with carriers, woohoo. So, yeah.
But we'll reveal that in further up.
I mean, with this change, once they add carriers for mobile, they better make a toilet skin for their carriers. They better get those toilets all over them. If you get the joke, you get the joke. I mean, mobile, most people sit on the toilet with their phones. That's the joke. Anyway.
Updates, so stay tuned. Let us know what you think. Explore the reworked carriers, master the skies, and turn the tide.
Again, I think I don't have any problems with most of the changes. Like, you guys should know how it is by now with me. I just want a fresh game again. I don't care what they do. Like, honestly, at this point, if they added subs, I know they won't, but if they did, I wouldn't even care anymore. Like, the game is boring as hell right now. Again, if they balanced them out, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, I'll take anything. A carrier rework, fuck it, give me it. I'll take anything. Like, I want some spice in the game. Like, not too much spice, but like enough to where something new, something fresh, something to try out, something to have fun with, you know what I mean, for a while. Because the game is getting just kind of boring, kind of stale. So next update looks fun. We got fleet battles, we got big carrier rework, we got a bunch of other stuff, we got airstrikes, man. It looks like a good update. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, also my comment 29 minutes ago, I said good changes, well done guys at Wargaming, and ISAF Mobius, he's a Discord mod in the Legends Discord. Did Ghost just give a compliment? Someone write this down for future historians. Oh my. I have nothing wrong with that guy. He's pretty cool, but there's some other Discord mods in there that are pretty interesting, to say the least, that I've had some interesting conversations with. Or I wouldn't say conversations with, but some situations that weren't very very nice. But anyways, we're not talking about that today. We're ending the video here. That is the trailer breakdown for the upcoming carrier changes, the big changes, the rework, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man. So I hope you all did enjoy, though. Nonetheless, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your weeks and weekends and everything like that. And I will catch you all Monday. I think this is the last video. So anyway, see you all Monday, hopefully, unless something else big pops up. Bye-bye.